sometimes when we get trapped in our own heads, and that's easy to do, we become our own worst enemy. And even with people around us, we may feel that we've been open with them, but maybe that wasn't the case. Sometimes just talking to somebody else could help immensely. And certainly when you perceive something as a failure, yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah, absolutely. Have I failed? Yeah, I'm human. That's what you do. It's always funny when people say, you failed. I'm like, thanks. Because I learned something. I learned something about a failure. I also learned something about somebody who would attempt to rub my nose in a failure. It says more about them and their insecurities than it does about me having actually gone through a process to have failed. Because failure is a great teacher. Success, man, I welcome it with open arms. Come on in, success, for sure. Who doesn't love success? But what I determine to be a success may not be what somebody else determines to be a success, right? For me, success is being able to accomplish something. Success! Yes! So, this is one of the reasons why when I set goals for myself, it's never contingent on somebody else. So, for example, for argument's sake, I'm going to give you, two situations, really, two scenarios. And let's see if you can tell the difference, right? One scenario is, I'm going to set a goal. I am going to get this many views on a video. That's my goal, is to get this many views on a video, right? And that's one goal. And on the other hand, the other scenario here is, I'm going to do the video that I want to do at this time and on this level of frequency, right? So two different scenarios. They're both related to video, doing something, right? But the big difference between these two things is, no, it's not views. It's not the amount of people that see the thing. It's about knowing what I control, and more importantly, knowing what I cannot control. And the moment you start setting goals for yourself that are contingent in any way, shape, or form upon the behaviors of anybody who is not you, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be setting yourself up for success, but let's imagine. Let's imagine. Let's play this scenario out. Over here, I want this many people to watch a video, right? That's the goal. How the hell am I going to control that? How? It's not for me to decide how many people are going to watch or listen. It's out of my hands. But I made that the goal. And let's say that goal is something like, I want 100 people to watch the video. And like, let's say 90 people watch a video. Like, I failed. I failed at my goal at getting 100 people to watch the video. Oh, that's horrible. I feel bad. Because I was trying to control something that could not absolutely be controlled. I ceded control. I relinquished control. I decided to set my own success or failure upon somebody else's behavior. Now, on the other hand, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do it my time. I'm going to do it on this frequency. That's my goal. That's something I can control. Absolutely. This is something that I can succeed in. So you got to be careful when you set your goals. Whether we're talking about doing videos, doing work, career goals, personal goals, whatever stresses you in life, you got to recognize what you can control and what you absolutely cannot control. And so often, we find ourselves, the global we, find ourselves trapped in the process of setting goals for ourselves or thinking that we've failed at something, when in fact, just viewing it through a slightly different lens, we can see the same action as a success. The video, in this example, this scenario, the video. Doing the video, was it a success or a failure? It was done. Who cares how many people saw it? It was done. Now let's say, for argument's sake, you wanted to elicit a certain response. Even then, it's out of your hands. It's out of your control. And so then you become subject to all those insecure people out there, every one of them, because they exist, who are going to come back to you and say, you failed. You suck. You didn't get this many people watching what you did, therefore you suck. Well, the good news is, the definition of me is not written by you. I don't rely upon anybody else to decide who it is that I am, or decide whether or not I have succeeded or failed. It's a matter of perspective. And so often, in the global society, we are taught, for some asinine reason, that failure is bad. Yet it's still the thing that we set ourselves up for over and over and over and over and over again. Because we fail to recognize what we can control and what we cannot control. And this just leads to problems, especially if we don't have an easy way to process what could very well be conceived or perceived, I should say, as a success. And we only see it as a failure. Because that's what we were taught. That's what we were shown. That's what we were set up for. A failure. Let me tell you, it's easy to fail. It's so easy to fail. But it's also just as easy to succeed. You set realistic goals, you're going to succeed. You set unrealistic goals, you're going to fail. And the very moment, you let somebody else dictate your value of whether or not you've succeeded or failed at a task that you've done, that only you were in control of, is the moment that you don't have the ability to see success for what it is. Because you've let somebody else control your destiny. And I'm not saying everyone should just be a free spirit, do whatever the hell you want to do. No. No, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you decide. You decide what success is. You decide what failure is. Don't let anybody tell you. Don't let anybody define you. Don't let anybody shape you. You alone have the ability to define that for yourself. Because the moment you let somebody else define you is the moment they will. Do you hear me? You have the ability to recognize what you can control and what you cannot control. And the more you concern yourself with the things you cannot control, the more out of control your life is going to feel. The more perceived failure you're going to see. It's one of the reasons why I just don't, I absolutely do not, I do not want anybody to dictate these things for me. I just don't. It's not my thing. Because trust me, I see them a mile away, or a kilometer, depending on what part of the world you're in. I see them far away, like, oh, you're insecure. I get it. Yeah, okay, cool. That's why they always tell you, never read the comment section. Because trust me, if you want to see a whole bunch of insecure people, go ahead, read the replies. It's a blanket statement. What I'm saying, it's very easy to point your finger and say you failed at something when you yourself weren't the person to have actually done it, or you completed an action, or not incompleted, like did it or not did it. Now I'm losing my words. If you're not the person who did it, how can you be the person to determine whether or not it was a success or a failure if you didn't determine the goal, right? Now, if you set the goal and expect somebody else to meet that goal, it's a completely different scenario. I'm talking about the things you can control versus the things you absolutely cannot control. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? There are some people who just they have a problem when it comes to dealing with other people online. They think that the people in front of the camera are their puppet, right? Me sitting on this side of the camera, I'm not anybody's puppet. I'm no puppet. Love puppets, love them. But even, during the live stream, when I'm interacting with people, sometimes I can't pay attention to chat. I'm doing my thing, right? And I pay attention and I listen. But sometimes I'm doing my own thing. And the people who do not respect my boundaries, that's not my problem. It's their problem, not mine. Theirs. Because I've already decided what it is that I want to do. And I'm happy for everybody to join along, right? To come with me on this ride, this roller coaster, right? Because for me, success is doing something that I enjoy doing. Success isn't getting as many people to also watch me enjoy the thing that I enjoy doing. And the more that I have to watch, the merrier, because it's fun, and we don't know what's gonna happen, right? Who knows? That's fun. That's part of the appreciation, I think, of doing live video, because you never know which turn it's gonna take. You never know, what rant I'm going to present. That sounds horrible. I don't rant all the time. That's for certain. I've just had this thought sticking in my craw. What you can control versus what you can't control. Yeah. So yeah. That's pretty much what I want to say. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Because for me, success is just having said that and put it out to the universe. Yeah. Who knows where it lands? Success to me wasn't getting many people to pay attention to what it was that I was saying. I know. It's not exactly what they teach you. No, you got to get 1 million. Oh, yeah. So now that I've that's regurgitated what's been spinning in my head for a few days, I can turn my attention to chat. Hollywood N3D says, Chris, really appreciate the insight and outlook. I wish more people would embrace it. Thank you.
Solo_Q cheered X1000.
Thank you, Solo QQ. A quick MVP after joining this community the other day. I will accept that as a tip, as a donation. If that's in relation to anything that I may have laid down, I appreciate it.